Hello, everyone. This is JPL, and today I'm joined with.
Christopher.
Yes, for once. Sorry. So yeah, you can't really tell this because of the scheduling that we're doing. But yeah, today is an interesting day.
Is it because of yesterday, or is
Yeah,
there
it's
something?
because of yesterday.
Okay.
So we're not recording on our normal day because, as our episodes from a few weeks back says, Christopher forgot.
Yes. I was just busy doing my internship stuff. Um, yeah, it totally slipped my brain. John was messaging me weird things, but I didn't understand what he was trying to say
I
for them.
messaged you on almost every platform.
You did. I
Let's
feel
see.
bad, but at the same time,
Yeah, like I said, what the plan yesterday. I started out and I moved on to something like Skype where I quoted something.
what were you?
Hummingbirds are the sharks of the sky.
I don't know where that's from.
That's fine. It's from Jardon. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And then I wrote on your Discord, one day the shrimp will fly.
And I'll be honest, I've kind of uninstalled, not uninstalled. I've like taken off Discord. No, not taken off. What's wrong with me? Like closed Discord for a bit because like I was on there a lot, and when I needed to concentrate on my work, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to close it. I need to focus on
Yeah.
um, my work.
I
So
put I text message you ¿Dónde estás? Which means where are you in Spanish. And then lastly on Skype it says, just like that, the onions became sentient.
and it just shows how much of a bad friend I am.
And at the end of the day, when there was no response, I said, should I check the morgue? And finally you realized today was
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah, it hit me around. I don't know what time I texted you, but I didn't
Mhm.
text you right away. I think it was like during dinner time. Like, oh crap, I'm such a bad friend.
Mhm. I'm a very patient fellow.
You are, but at the same time, you're not that patient that you'd wait till 6 to record.
I
That's
did
nothing against you. I'm just saying, like,
I did wait till 6.
you're kidding. Like,
I did wait all day. My sister came, and so I spent the rest of the day with her. So
he did wait till 6. Oh my gosh. Oh,
that's I'm a good friend like that, you know.
you are a good friend.
Yeah. Uh, one time at school, sometimes after school, my mother has meetings, and they're like last minute meetings. So I'm waiting to take her home because it was when we were at Ecuador, and I had to walk her home. And so I just waited out there for like a couple hours, 2 3 hours, till she finished her meeting, and we went home. I could have just gone home by myself, but because I waited, yeah, I would wait. I would
Because
wait
you
for.
waited, yeah.
I would wait a while. I would. I would have waited till like pitch black darkness at night.
Good man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't think it. Well, I probably, if I had stuff to do, I could, but that's not always.
Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm just really excited to get back to school. I'm sick and tired of life. I'm
Yeah.
just. I need to be around people. I'm. I want to be feeling more productive with my life. And just, I don't know. I'm just done and tired.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
I'm to this week. I'll be home alone,
Okay.
so that's fun.
Is that good or bad in your case?
It's fine. I don't have a car because my parents are driving.
Mm-hmm.
visiting other people, so I'll be here by myself with no transportation.
You could walk.
Not really. Not really. The United States is not really a pedestrian-friendly place.
It depends where you are, I
Unless
would
you're living
think,
in the
though.
big city. But Ecuador, we're all about the pedestrians. Because not everyone has a car, so there I just walk everywhere.
I would feel also when it comes to America, it depends where you live.
Of course, if you're living in New York, in the city specifically, yeah, there you can walk. But here, I can't really.
That's really interesting that you say that. I'm not saying you're wrong, but
Mhm.
what comes first to my mind is, oh, it's a city. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because here there's not really sidewalks you can walk on, like everywhere. You're just
Yeah,
walking on the grass on people's sidewalks. You have to
that
go
pisses
through
me
this
off about
major
suburbs.
intersection. Like around here, the only people you see walking are the poor people who live in the suburbs or the homeless.
That was one of the things that really pissed me off when we moved to Lynchburg. Is I'm like, how I can't ride my bike if I had a bike, but
Hmm.
like where
Yeah.
if I wanted to, I can't. So that really upsetted me. So
Hmm. Yeah, I never really learned how to ride a bike.
you want to learn?
No, no, I never got off the training wheels.
It's fun.
Mm, no, it wasn't.
Yes,
It
it
wasn't
is.
fun when I tried. So
Well, I'm gonna assume you didn't try hard enough.
that's a serious implication you got there. You got anything to back it up?
Um, it's my truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's my truth, and you can't dispute my truth.
Well, I could actually.
Well, you could dispute it, but if it's my truth,
You know,
then
I have a book to my left that tells me how to dispute those kind of truths.
oh, fine. Have fun with your book and such. I'll go cry in a hole.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so you have some news that I
I,
read about some things.
that's news.
You know, like your little pills that you.
Oh yeah, I guess you saw that on Instagram because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't post it to Facebook. Yeah. So since the accident, I've been on some medication, and I took the last pill yesterday. I thought it was going to be today, but actually, I'll be on. So like, I was like at a 25 milligram dosage, and I was kind of like stoned for a day or two because it took a while for my body to adjust to it. But then I've been having it for a while, and then
Stop.
I talked to my doctor. I'm like, I'm ready to kind of get off it, and then George Floyd happened, which didn't really help. But basically, my doctor he he put me on a smaller dosage. I think it was like 10 milligrams. So I went from 25 to 10,
Yeah.
and 25 to 10. Okay. Oh yeah, so right, that was like right before George Floyd happened.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been on that 10 for I'd say a month or two, even though it was only supposed to last a month, but I kept forgetting to take my
Mm-hmm.
pills. So yeah, I took the last one the other day. Honestly, I don't know how my life would have been um, with without it, but I'm gonna assume it in the end helped more than it didn't, because I mean it's been difficult past few months just dealing with my sanity or insanity.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't really help much because you know me.
but I mean, like I've mentioned, like it is great to be able to relax and talk with you.
Yeah.
It's been pretty fun. But yeah, I took the last pill yesterday. I'm just thankful, that like I've kind of been on and off the past month or two, because I keep forgetting to take it. So hopefully my body will be okay not taking it at all, because I've kind of already been in that like bouncing on and off phase. I think this was actually the best time to end it, because it's just about 2 weeks for me to move on campus. I'm having a meeting in relation to that tonight, so I'll probably get some more details. So I'm like, this is good timing. I didn't want to be on the medication longer than I had to be. I thought I'd have to be on there maybe longer, but a couple months ago I was feeling pretty good. I'm like, let's just get off it, and I did, or at least like change my prescription to something else, to help me ease off of it. So yeah, even though this new phase of life may be a little stressful, I think being with people is going to help me more than anything else. And so I just don't want to be stuck to the drug forever. So I'm thankful. It still is it's a little surreal. But I am thankful. I don't know. It's like, it was something I wanted to celebrate. And obviously, whenever you post something, you want something back from it, right? It's always a bummer whenever you post something and there's no response, which unfortunately, I feel like that happens to you a lot. And I think that sucks.
What?
Well, I mean, with your videos, like,
that's fine. I mean, I've been expecting that for almost 5 years now.
Yeah.
So
you deserve better. But
I don't deserve anything, Christopher. None of us do.
True. That's true. But at the same time, like, even though it is good news that I'm finally off it, I wonder, like, did I make it a bigger deal than it should have been? I think the main thing is the fact that, like, I haven't really talked about myself for a while, like, in relation to the accident. I haven't really given, like, a status update of, like, my mental health or... So I think that was the main thing that kind of drove me to say something like that. I may say some things privately or maybe even on Facebook if I'm not doing super well for a span. But in terms of like a public update, that might be it. I still want to do a video related to the experience. But besides that, I don't really know what else. It's not until like another big event that I would probably make another post like that, I would think. Honestly, if I'm to think about it, I might write something about my emotions. Maybe even go a little more in depth about the summer. I don't know. It hasn't been the best. But
write a memoir.
I could. Do I have time? No.
A sentence a day makes all the difference.
Makes all the difference. Yeah, well, we will see, I guess. I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah. Anyway. This was a really good week for the podcast.
Okay.
This past week. We got a new listener.
What?
Who watched our entire podcast. So that was great. We had a lot of views on that.
On YouTube?
No, on Anchor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. So did like the person follow the podcast on Anchor?
I don't know. I don't know, but they watched it all, and that's fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's good.
Yeah, and then viewers who hadn't really watched in a few weeks returned and watched, which gave us even more stuff. So yeah, we've been doing pretty good.
That is good. I'm sorry. Could I pause for a moment? I have to ask my...
You may pause.
Pause for a moment.
You may pause.
Okay,
mute yourself.
Sorry. Thank you.
He did not mute himself. So that means I'm going to be sitting here, and I'm going to be making up stories. So, about my room. It's a bit of a mess, as rooms usually are. But there are paintings in my rooms. You can't see them. Three of them are paintings that my mother did. They were presents for me. One of them is of Doctor Who, mainly just Gallifrey wording done very nicely in this beautiful looking piece. And the other two are pony art, where she just drew characters of ponies. And these are acrylics, by the way, which they're very beautiful. They're nice. I mean, they're either acrylic or oil paintings, one of those two. She really likes doing oil paintings. But yeah, those are nice paintings. I really enjoyed them. On top of that, I have posters that I received from BronyCon. Three of them are the official posters that I have framed over my bed in nice order. I have two more that I need to frame and do stuff with, but for now, because there's not enough space, I only have these three here. Next, I have a poster by Andy Price, who's an artist, and it's this beautiful pony sketch of rumors of ponies talking to each other and spreading rumors. hmm And it's a limited piece. There's only 100 of these specific types of prints, and I got number 84, and they're autographed by him, of course. And then a few years ago, almost a decade now, I went to the York Fair, which is like this, a fair, and there you have these caricature artists where people they draw you and yourself in these weird, funny cartoons, and those are fun. So I did mine, and they had me draw. I had them draw me as the Joker, specifically Cesar Romero, and that's cool. It's not the best drawing of me, but it serves its purpose. Beside that, I have a poster for Scooter Tricks the Abridged. They gave that out at BronyCon, and like this was their final year for the final episode. And I have this poster autographed by the members of that Abridged series, and that's fine. And then just in front of me, I have, of course, my certificate of induction for the International Thespian Society. It's right above my desk, and yeah, Christopher's back, and let's continue.
Okay, so first off, that's really great about. I mean, a new listener. That's great. Oh, by the way, I think a couple of days ago I listened to the Neosporin bit. That episode with CJ on Spotify. Did we get any note about like someone listening to that on Spotify?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably. It definitely probably registered you, of course.
Okay.
But there's so much content that happened last week that it's hard to tell.
Okay.
But officially, I have $1 made from this website now.
Really?
I have $1. Woo!
Yeah, someone made a difference.
No, $1 from revenue over the weeks of uploading
The ads.
of the ads.
Gotcha.
No listener support. So
Okay.
no difference was made.
Oh, okay.
Yet.
Yeah,
Remember, people, $1 makes all the difference.
all the difference.
Support us on Anchor.
I mean, I hope this person will keep listening. When we started, I posted in my Instagram story. Maybe someone will listen. I mentioned someone asked me if it was on Apple. I gave her the link. I mean, I'm gonna try to promote it more, but I just haven't been posting a lot lately. Just in general,
it's fine.
I will.
What you do.
Anyways, but here's the reason why I left. I have something very fun and exciting, I think.
That you left. Oh, okay.
So, a couple weeks ago, I opened a Teespring store. I haven't promoted anything, but I made a few products, and I wanted to test them myself and see how they were. They both came separately. This came about a week ago.
Ooh,
it's a sticker.
That's nice.
My 164.
Our listeners cannot see that, but yeah,
Maybe you would just post this as a YouTube clip. I don't know. But I just got in the mail my mask.
Oh.
So I'm gonna open it right now and let's see how it is.
Yes, this audio unboxing.
Audio unboxing. The way to do it.
If there's nothing else, just listen to him crinkle. It's new ASMR. All right, there's a second package he's got to open. Okay.
Face mask right there.
Beautiful.
It's like, how do I put on a face mask with headphones on?
Yeah, don't. You just put it on your face.
Oh,
All right, so he's taking his headphones off and he's putting it on. It's covering his eyes. That's actually pretty big.
It was on my eyes. I guess
Yeah,
you can't understand me.
It's pretty big, yeah. It's a nice size. How does it feel?
It's all the difference.
How does it feel?
I mean, it feels actually cool, like cool air, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, like, it wasn't on long enough. I almost feel like it might suffocate me, but I don't know.
Do you think it's a good texture?
It's a very nice texture.
Okay.
It's a texture that I've not seen from other masks. This is almost like silky-ish texture. So, which is kind of cool. So the main thing why I have not promoted the store is because I wanted to test the color of the product. Because my logo can look very dark when printed.
Okay.
So that was the main thing. So I think I'm gonna just a second. I ran to get the package so I wouldn't leave us hanging too long. So like this, you can kind of see it's kind of bright, and this is kind of dark in comparison, right? So I guess like in terms of that, I'm not. This is almost like deep, like a deepish green.
Yeah.
Dark lavender almost. Is lavender? I don't know if people interpret lavender as purple or green. I feel like both.
It's purple.
Okay.
Lavender is purple.
Gotcha. So no deep lavender. So it did come out darker than I wanted it. I'd say like I was more pleased with the sticker. I felt like that was kind of like an in between how dark that mask was and the logo. Yeah. But you know what? My T-shirt, which I don't have right here with me, which I mentioned I did that through Uber Prints, and like that came out like a very deep, dark green, and I was not too happy with that. I mean, like I was pleased that it was an affordable price, and like they did their job, so I'm not mad about that. But it came out way darker than expected. Yeah, this is dark, but at the same time, like if you're not comparing it right next to the computer screen, like not too many people are going to tell the difference. And plus with like the silky look, the shiny feel of it kind of makes it seem brighter than it really is. So I'm not too displeased. No, darn it. I'm not really displeased. I'm pretty happy with what this is.
Okay.
So
that's nice.
Yeah. So now I feel like with that in mind, I will be telling everybody you can go buy your own mask. You could get a shirt. You could get a pillow if you want to. You could get a sticker. My logo. I've not tested it on the other products. I'm not going to break the bank to get all those other products.
Yeah.
I may get another mask or two for myself because it's probably good to have this in rotation. But yeah, I don't know. It's just cool too. I don't know. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, to get your own product.
It is really cool, right?
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm gonna feel that whenever I get my DVD.
For
Of
the finger puppets?
yes, for the finger puppets.
Yes. Would you know when that's going to be given to you?
Soon.
Soon. Okay.
Ish. Soonish. Whenever it arrives in the mail.
That is
Anyway,
exciting.
I have a sticky note of some things to talk about here.
Okay. Let's get to this.
First one, have you ever been on a road trip before?
Far too many times.
All right. Do you
Have
want to
you?
tell? Um, let's
Okay,
just.
fine.
I want to go with you
So,
first.
when we lived in America, in LA for like 10 years, till I was like 10,
Mm-hmm.
we would oftentimes drive from California to Colorado to visit my grandma, like every year, pretty much, for a bit. We did it about like 4 or 5 times, especially like last few years. And yeah, it was a 2-day drive. Um, we did that. And then when we went to Korea, there were often times when we did take long trips. None that would be more than a day,
Mm-hmm.
but like there was a time when we lived in, no one's gonna understand, but Punki. We moved to Punki from Daegu. We used to go to this church in Daegu. It was like 2 hours apart. So for a couple of months, every Sunday we drove from Punki to Daegu to go to church and then back home.
Mm-hmm.
That was our Sunday. It was because the service was in the afternoon, so
Yeah.
that was pretty exhausting. And then even here in America, when we came back, we visited my grandpa who lives in Connecticut. So that took us like a 2-day drive to get up there and such as well. Um, have I been on? There were a couple times in Korea. I think there was 2 years when we did kind of do a little like vacation road trip thing. That would
Where you
be
just drive around just to see the sights.
kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, maybe it was a water park, alpine slide, a beach or something. I think we did that twice in Korea. So I think those are our road trips. I don't think we took any longer than those, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
For me, it's hard to say. Specifically road trips because we don't. I don't think we actually took road trips. It depends on my definition of road trip. I don't consider driving from Virginia to Pennsylvania to see my grandparents or vice versa as a road trip.
Because it would only take you like some hours within the day, right?
6 hours.
6 hours.
It's not that. It's just because we're just going straight there. We're not really going to see the sights. We're just going to a location. Um, the only thing I can really consider a road trip um, would be in 2010 when I moved to the States for furlough. We landed in Miami and we drove all the way up to Pennsylvania, which was fun. It was about, I don't know, a week maybe. And we would stop like in every other state at this hotel, at an old friend's house, at this grandparent, and then finally to the other grandparent. And I guess I can consider that because we did see lovely sights. I don't remember what they were, but they were things at that time. Um, and I guess I can also consider this a road trip, kind of. We went to see the Grand Canyon one
Okay.
time, but we flew to one state. We drove to the Grand Canyon, drove around visiting other uh, monuments of nature.
Monuments.
Uh, yeah, monuments of nature and whatnot, and that was fun. But road trip itself, I don't think I've actually ever taken a road trip. But there was this fun time in freshman of high school. Me and my friends, um, we in the mornings we would go up to the top floor of school, which was the fourth floor, and we had to take the stairs. and which is difficult. And you're in the high altitude. When you finally get up there, you're out of breath. And we would call that place the clock tower or the watchtower, something like that, because it was the high point, and it's not really a fourth floor. It's just we have two smaller classrooms up there. That's where the elevator maintenance shaft is. So really, it's just up there. You go there and do that. And so there's this one thing where my English professor was always late in the morning. And so whenever he arrived, everyone's just sitting outside his classroom, and he'd always just walk by and says, "Morning, campers," and that was just fun. But during those waiting times, me and my friends, we came up with the brilliant notion to go on a road trip. Uh, and this would be as a senior gift, like in between college. Before we go to college, after we graduate, we wanted to take a road trip of the entire United States, ish. So like, we go and we rent an RV. We go across the nation. We joke about it. It's like one of the more memorable things was just like we wanted to go to Vegas, to Sin City, not because we wanted to do anything there, but just because it'd be fun.
Yeah.
But that was fun. It's just like, oh yeah, we're Christians going to Vegas, Sin City. We're gonna go to casinos and whatnot.
Preach to the peoples and the
No.
casinos.
No, but that was
We're
fun.
gonna gamble for Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And so we're actually setting up to actually do that. So we had like this Facebook group chat to help set up, find the costs. But this whole thing only lasted 1 year before we kind of just lost interest because none of us had money.
Right.
And
it's always the money.
It's always the money. And by the time we get there, time is different.
Right.
We're in different situations. We're not all in the U.S. and so we're not going to do the road trip. But the road trip was we drive around to each state to pick each other up because we're not starting in one location. So it's like I don't know, but
I mean, it sounds like a fun idea.
It was a fun idea. It was great because like we were all pumped for it.
Right.
It's like this is silly and stupid, but let's do it. We didn't
and then you guys actually realized it was silly and stupid, and then you guys didn't.
No, I kind of still want to do it.
No, I
but
get it.
I don't think we ever can. After college is near impossible to do something like this.
Yeah.
For the next 40 years. But yeah, I mentioned last week while looking through the past Twitter that I said that in a group chat with another friend, I swore for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the group chat.
Oh, really? You guys were that mad? You got that mad?
I got that mad. So like I actually found the original a message. Like I scrolled back, it's like where was that? And I found it. And
like looking back, do you feel justified?
Here's the thing: no justification can make up for it. But I found it funny because I remember now that even though that was the first time I really swore in the message chat, I still censored it. So I didn't actually type it full out. I put, the thingy, asterisk, and the final letter and whatnot. But basically, I said, F you, so-and-so. F you and go to hell. That's what I said.
You were that mad.
I was so mad. Like, I was so fed up at that point.
No wonder you guys didn't go on the trip.
All right, stop.
Okay. He said stop. He said stop. I love my mask. I don't know. I'm so proud of it. I just wanted to look at me in it again.
So you're doing
like my mask.
Well, that's nice. Did you stall good?
Did I what good?
Did you stall good?
Stall?
Yeah.
Stall what?
The audience, did you entertain them while I was gone?
I said, I love my mask. I'm going to put it on. That's pretty much all I said to do.
Oh, good job.
I figured they might be entertained by the sound of me putting on my mask.
I don't know. Would you?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I bet you would do the same thing whenever you get your shirt. You'll just like stare at it and be like, this is real life. This is so cool.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So, have you been looking into like the t-shirt sites and what you want to do?
No, I'm not looking into that right now.
Okay. So, are we?
So, I know that this past week I also uploaded an update video.
I think I watched that. That was the one I commented and you were like, no. Right?
$1 makes all the difference.
And I said every dollar.
Yes.
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry I failed.
You failed me, man. You didn't know the quote.
I don't, because you always say it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically it's just saying like I'm pausing down on reaction videos.
Which I totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it last time, I think.
Yeah.
But it's exhausting to do.
Yeah, it's also like tiring. You kind of want to do other things. Like I recently watched an update video for another reactor that I'd known for a while, and like after 7 years, he's finally just starting to just want to move on.
Yeah.
And of course, I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and I didn't really want to do reactions really.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of inherited it. But
You mean at first or now?
At first.
Yeah.
Because like
I was the same thing though. That's really crazy that we both were like that.
No, because like the reactions part of my channel was to someone else. Like they did the reactions, and like that was the whole point of starting the reactions was so they can get the content. But then they left, and so now I inherited it just so we could get more content going, and so I've been doing it for so long now. So I'm just like I'm tired. The YouTube scene has changed dramatically with Copa.
Yeah.
And just recently with Suzy Lou. Oh.
What's okay? Tell me, what is this, Susan?
Oh no! I
don't know anything. I need to know. I'm a YouTuber.
It's a big thing that happened a while ago, but basically, Suzy Lou is a reactor, and the reactions were not really reactions. They were pretty much just watching and not really saying anything in their videos. And then they're just getting a large amount of content, of viewers, and like monetizing everything. But then one day, and that's fine. Like they could do that. But one day, someone just makes a joke about Suzy Lou, and it was in fair use, but she copyrighted them and pretty much took them down. And that's when the whole thing started, where people in the other set and they started just talking about her and just talking about how she didn't do things properly, and she just starts blocking everyone, taking everyone's channels down, doing things, doing illegal things, lying about things, and like she would have been fine if she just wasn't so insecure about things like this.
Right.
And then just a whole thing, a lawsuits by other people. That I don't think fully formed, but the people who owned the stuff that she was reacting to, she was making money off of, which was illegal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a horrible time. And it's movements like these that make you change how you do things.
Yeah.
And so with her doing what she did, and also she will say things like not really nice things. She's not really a nice person to talk to. And so yeah, I'm sugarcoating it like very nicely, but this was terrible. And yeah, it's not great.
And this was all within the past couple months.
Uh, this whole year.
This year.
This whole year. So yeah,
So
stuff
has
like that.
YouTube like said that they're going to change things as a result of this, or
No,
not?
like YouTube doesn't do anything.
Okay. Well, I mean,
In fact, for the most part, they kind of defend her because she has all the power.
I mean, to a degree, I'm kind of glad they didn't do anything because all of a sudden they could say, "All right, no more reactions on YouTube," right?
Yeah, and
They
so
could go to an extreme, but they didn't.
not yet, anyway. Like they could still like change things. Where like, hey, here's our new formats of how you should do reaction videos, and that would be bad for people who have been reacting in a different format for so many years.
True.
And all that stuff they have to get rid of. It's not good. So that's that.
What was that in my brain? There was speaking of YouTube, YouTube recently did something which I'm pretty surprised about. It doesn't affect us really, but still interesting. Is that it seems like YouTube was having some issues with like some either music distribution or label something in Denmark.
Okay.
So YouTube basically said, "All right, now you can't access music if you live in Denmark." And so on like half of my videos, it says partially blocked, and I checked, and it's all Denmark.
Okay.
So it's just Denmark that's affected. I don't even think I really had people from Denmark watching, so it's not really a big deal. But it's kind of weird to see the icon that says public. It's now a yellow, partially blocked. It's a little weird, but it's also just crazy to like see that. It's like, all right, Google's so mad that they can't get like the contract that they want, that they will not allow people in the country consume a certain type of content on their platform.
That's why you get NordVPN.
It's true.
But tell me about TikTok.
Okay. Like my relationship with the app of TikTok, I guess.
You were saying, but you and Christopher were saying, you and CJ were saying things about the app, and I didn't understand the context. So
okay, so yeah, so there's Trump wants to ban the app because the app is owned or based in China, and
okay.
So basically, the issue is that the Chinese government could basically say to the company, "Give us all the data, like all your customers' data." So then China could literally have all my information. What will they do with it? I don't know. But like, I'm not too up to date about all the security issues thing, because I wonder, like, all right, you have all this information. What are you going to do with it? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I guess people have so much money and tech power that we don't know about that they could do something that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
But it still makes me wonder, what's the big deal? I'm not trying to be snarky. I'm just genuinely curious. What's the big deal? I don't understand. But Trump wants to ban the app. And so Microsoft apparently said that they've been in talks with TikTok to apparently buy the app for a bit. And this whole thing about the banning thing kind of made that discussion public. And TikTok is more apt to sell the things. So Trump said, you have till September 15th. But here's a few interesting things. Really interesting things. Microsoft apparently only wants to buy 30% of TikTok. Basically, Microsoft will only buy region access to TikTok. Basically. So, like Microsoft could buy TikTok of America. So they would be in charge of TikTok in America. But China still owns the other regions that TikTok is operated out of, which does not make sense to me. I guess if it happens, cool. Maybe Microsoft is kind of like okay, we don't have all the resources that we can transfer to teams, but you would think if you buy the app, you could also have the team come along. I don't really know. I think it's just complicated to kind of buy the app for a country than just to buy the app as a whole. At either rate, as while people are excited, yay, Microsoft being an American company provided, I guess both scenarios that kind of would be true, but especially if Microsoft bought the whole thing. Like, I guess that's good, but at the same time, a lot of people have shown their distrust in Bill Gates recently, throughout this whole coronavirus situation. And just it being owned by a big tech company could be, a big issue in terms of censorship. Not to say that TikTok does face its censorship issues.
Yeah.
People said like their lives have been banned because they've been talking about Jesus. At the very least, like TikTok hasn't like taken down accounts. It really seems like it. But at the same time, sometimes when you're in charge of a big corporation, like you can't monitor everything. You can't. It's hard to. Like you can't analyze everything properly and correctly.
Yeah.
Which I kind of understand, but at the same time, there does seem to be some double standards. One interesting thing Trump is saying is that he wants America to get some money out of the deal, which, thinking about it, that doesn't make sense. Microsoft is buying the app. It's not TikTok giving up their app. So I need to look into that. I don't fully understand that. Trump is saying, a lot of TikTok's users are based in America, so then TikTok would be losing a lot of people who use the app, right? If he bans the app, then TikTok should be grateful and we should get profit out of it, which I guess would be great to hack away at our national debt or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the same time, the national debt's not getting any better, really.
No.
So how much is it going to help? Aren't we already using more money than we should? Should we reprioritize, the finances that we currently have before we get free money like that? I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted about the whole situation. I think in the end, I would prefer that Microsoft, whatever they do, like Indian, I want TikTok to be legal in America. I don't want it banned. So to a degree, whatever it takes, I guess that's cool, provided that the app stays what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'll talk about why I like TikTok, and hopefully this will help people understand why it's a big deal to me. Like it's a different form of social media. Like people have seen ads. The ads are not good. Let me put it this way. What TikTok does differently from like most any other platform is that like there's a feed for people you don't follow. That may not make fully sense. There are two feeds. One for like people you follow, so you can see what.
I get you.
So what's really cool about this page, this For You page, is that it assumes content that you like, which in time it gets a decent idea. It started to assume that I like comedic things. It assumes that I'm somewhat conservative. It assumes that I'm a Christian. I mean, that nails it to a degree, right? So as much as I would way prefer just to see comedic stuff, like I like being informed about politics a little bit, not a lot, but it's good to get some knowledge. I love to laugh. So, I mean, that's always out of the park. Amazing. And it's good just to be reminded of like Christian principles. So I appreciate that. But to be able to find out about these creators is really cool that other platforms don't do a great job of. YouTube is probably one of the better ones, but at the same time, even their recommendation system is different from what TikTok is. True, there is a bit of an emphasis of viral videos on TikTok, but at the same time, they do push videos that aren't viral to you. like it like oftentimes I'll see videos on the For You page that only have like 1 or 2 or even 0 likes, because TikTok will push your video to other people and see how well it does. They like that's what they do. Other platforms don't do that, right? You're never going to see on your YouTube feed a video with 2 views, even if it's a topic that you're interested in, right? It's always some amount of views. It has to be maybe trending. It's pretty related and all that stuff. TikTok is not an app where it's just girls dancing. There are people giving their opinions. There's commentary. There are sometimes skits, which, yeah, it's hit or miss. There's diversity there, and apparently a lot of older people, and I'm not saying it's like grandpas, though it could be, but it's just older people in general are starting to see how cool the app is, and people are enjoying it. And so it's not just a voice for the quote millennials or the youngsters. It's becoming a voice for even the older folks, those over 30 years old. CJ was outlining some of his concerns about like the information they gather. He says, I would see people on my feed that TikTok should not know that I know. But one of the things TikTok does is that, I mean, they've never asked for my location. They've asked for my phone number. So maybe if they were going off the phone number, the first 3 digits, maybe they. But I don't think they've asked for my location. I could be wrong. So that could be an interesting issue. But like they do push content from people around your area, they say, or your state. So like that could be a thing. But at the same time, I feel like I've seen more things with Facebook and Instagram that they've pushed people to me that they shouldn't know that I know. I don't know, it's because of my contacts or phone number or something, but it's just really interesting to see sometimes like how Facebook and Instagram will like show me these things that I feel like is a greater invasion of privacy than TikTok. That's just my experience. But again, I just think TikTok is just more state oriented, that it'll show you content more from your state.
Mm-hmm.
And then coincidentally, maybe people will appear on the feed. I don't know for sure, right? But just me personally, I haven't had like the experience CJ has had. Maybe other people will share the similar experiences that CJ has had that I haven't had, but I don't know. So yeah, I like the content. I love the algorithm. I love that it pushes content to people who do not know you. Like that is one of the most, I think, the best things about TikTok. I've not gone viral on TikTok, but I've had some, people I have no idea who they are, who have liked my content, who have started following me. I don't have a large platform at all. This is not a brag. I'm just saying that attests to the power of it reaching out to other people and like other platforms. YouTube is based, I feel like, more on the search results than the recommended page, at least for me with my reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, like YouTube's not going to show you a video of a topic that you're interested in by a creator who only has like 10 views on the video. It never does, right? Very rarely. It's usually videos that are like super related or have a good amount of views or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
push, like on TikTok, they will push videos with very little attention that's brand new, and maybe you will help that video get viral. Maybe. Now, what's interesting is that today Instagram has reeled out their new feature called Instagram Reels. Basically, they're trying to copy TikTok. And so, again, it's just one day. It's kind of too early to say. One thing that I like about it is that whoever follows me on Instagram is going to see what I post. TikTok is, yeah, it's not owned by Facebook, so my followers on Instagram are not going to see it. But like it's like I do have a lot of focus on Instagram, if I promote something on Instagram, like a new YouTube video, it's kind of hard to get people off Instagram to YouTube to watch my video.
Yeah.
So if it's in-app, I feel like that was also part of the strategy with IGTV. We'll have our own YouTube in our own app, so then people can consume that content within Instagram. They won't feel as pressure to leave. It'll be easier to access. I never jumped on it just because I wanted to get monetized on YouTube. Obviously, I'm kind of paused YouTube right now. I feel like I'm just kind of waiting to move on campus when I'm in a better mental state.
Yeah.
I feel like I may adapt IGTV a little bit. I'll probably just test some things. I don't know. I'm not there yet. But I'm definitely going to be utilizing the Reels. I'm going to be using both TikTok and Reels. For TikTok as long as I can, and Reels, kind of see how it is. But like I said, like it does push the content to the people who follow you on Reels. On Instagram, they do have an explore page where you can like see Reels kind of similar to the For You page on TikTok. But from what I'm seeing, it's not doing a very good job of pushing my content to other people. Again, it's the first day. I posted my first and only reel a couple of hours ago, but everyone who's liked it are people who are following me. That's not like TikTok. TikTok, I will have other people who will like it or comment. So far, it's only the people who follow me. Looking at the For You Explore page on Instagram, all the reels are kind of like from accounts with some decent following. I haven't seen any reel under 100 likes or anything like that.
Yeah.
So who knows? I think it's going to kind of be accumulation of them trying to perfect it, because so far it just seems like the Instagram algorithm. Not as much aimed towards helping nobodies blow up. I do feel like engagement will increase because I think some people will kind of like having TikTok and Instagram. I mean, I kind of already feel some surge of energy with the reel I posted, but it's not pushing it to other people like I hoped it would yet. We will see. That may change. But yeah, I'm just going to be hacking at both, especially until TikTok goes away. But if Reels does end up pushing my content to people who don't follow me, then it's best to start now than later. And I already have content that I can post to Reels. Like sometimes I'll edit things out with TikTok, so like I already have a video that I could just like post. So we will see. We will see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this past week, we watched my mother and I. We watched the series called The Maze Runner.
I've heard of it.
Mm-hmm. It's based off a series of books.
Okay.
I think of these movies, the first one I think is the best one. To my knowledge, is probably the one that's closest to the book because the other two deviate on their own path. Not entirely sure, but the basic one, the first one was just these kids are in a maze, and they have to find a way out. It's cool. I like that concept. Yeah, and like all the other ones are just kind of, You're in the world with zombies. You're trying to find a cure. It's not as fun as you're in a maze and you're trying to escape. So, yeah, that's what I gotta say about that.
How old are those movies? Because I've heard of them, but I don't know how old.
They're not too old. 6 at the most.
6 years old?
The first one was 2014, the second one 2015, and the third one 2018. So
okay,
they're still young.
Are they working on more or not?
No, the last one was the last one.
Okay. Did you enjoy watching them or
Yeah, I prefer the first one, of course.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Is there a movie where you feel like the sequel is better than the first movie?
Oh, there are a few. Yeah. Sequel better than the first one. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of sequels that are better than the first one. You can think of Spider-Man.
Do you feel like established franchises, especially those based off books, and the sequels always bomb?
Depends.
Depends. Because I feel like that's almost what I see.
It really depends on what the book is and how it's related to the film. Because then you have things like the Hunger Games, which were very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Twilight series, which, while it's not critically reviewed well, it was successful for its fan base.
Mm-hmm. Both Twilight and Hunger Games, did you like them? Did you watch them? Were your
Twilight
thoughts
is horrendous. The actors and think so as well. Hunger Games Hunger Games was definitely a much better series. Did not work well towards the end. Kind of the same thing with Harry Potter.
Did Harry Potter end?
It did.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it did.
Okay, so curious, did you ever watch Game of Thrones or not?
Yes.
Okay. Was that any good or not? And did you make it to the end to where everyone was disappointed?
It really depends on your definition of good. Is it a nice Christian show?
That I know, no, but
no, definitely not.
For what it is,
it's a well-made show until the point where they caught up with all the books, and they still have 2 seasons left and no book.
So, because I saw something like the author was supposed to release a next book, and this was like a month ago, but soon. Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so he takes a while to write his books, and the show caught up with him. But all they had was the general story idea of what would happen, so they had to make things up themselves. It turns out they're not the best at making things up themselves. They're good adapters of the books. So things went downhill.
They really should have just waited till the books were done.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get, probably the time was right when they did it.
I don't think so, because the way TV shows work, you have to do it within that next consecutive year. Otherwise, the audience is going to lose interest.
No. The whole the series as a whole.
Oh, you mean as a whole. Wait till the books are finished to do the series as a whole?
Yeah.
I don't think that would have...
I mean, there's an element that, right, a TV show could have started in 2010 or 2015 or 2020, and each time that could have been released would garner a different response, right?
Yeah. So I think that Game of Thrones came out around the perfect time it did. Because any later, it would probably still be hit, but it wouldn't be around the same level of quality as it was back then.
So you're saying it would have been less in quality if released now?
Yeah, I would think so, yes.
Besides the Corona situation, why do you think so?
Different directors, they changed their style later on. The way money is utilized in the show, the way things are filmed, the way how things work. There's a lot of variables, and things happen. Whatever.
I mean, those are valid arguments.
Yeah. The next point on my post-it note is I don't know. I wrote that down. I don't know. So let's talk about this word.
I don't know together.
I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, that's a shame. Anyway, this is, of course, now I'm run out of ideas to write about. So opera.
That's what you wrote down.
I wrote down
Just
opera.
simply wrote down opera.
Yes.
Opera.
Yeah. Whenever I get bored, a friend of mine can tell that I'm bored.
So I'm not your friend.
Another friend of mine can always tell when I'm bored when I start singing opera. And it's true. Like you yawn, I yawn, like and I just start singing opera while I yawn. And he knows that I'm bored of whatever we're watching or doing because it's like, oh no, John's
Bored.
singing opera now. Now he's bored.
So
And then the last thing I wrote down is browsers that we use.
web browsers.
I don't know, like Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing.
I use Chrome.
Yeah. For the longest time, I used Internet Explorer because on the computer that I used, it was a much more efficient program than Chrome. Which was good, and I loved Internet Explorer. It was the nice one. Then of course you start using newer computers. Internet Explorer isn't exactly adapted to that, so there's that story, and that's how that ends. And that's the story of when I used Internet Explorer. Anyway, I also was back to Game of Thrones.
Okay.
You were saying that I watched it to the end. Yes, I did. I watched it all when the finale came out.
Okay.
It came out, and I watched it all in 1 week, which was a really long week. Yeah, the ending definitely isn't the greatest.
Yeah. Kids, you learned your lesson. You learned not to improvise a movie.
Yeah.
At all. Or
anyway,
no, TV series.
Yeah. I was listening to another podcast by James Earl Taylor, talking to myself.
Okay.
And there, he mentioned a couple books. And I don't know what it was about them, but I decided to get them.
Okay.
So one of them is called Get Your Life Back, Everyday Practices for a World Gone Mad. Which is definitely relevant for today's world.
And did you read it?
I'm a few chapters in.
Okay. It's pretty good?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
It came out right before Corona. So, perfect timing. And it's a really nice thing. I want to read the introduction to this.
Right now.
Right now.
Oh, okay. Just don't get flagged for copyright or whatever.
It's fine.
Okay.
The introduction. The rescue. There's a madness to our moment, and we need a name for it. The lunacy of it. Because it's taking our lives hostage. First, there's a blistering pace of life. I texted friends an announcement that was really important to me. They replied with little thumbs up emojis. I think to myself, that's it? You can't even answer a text with a text? Email felt so efficient when we replaced a letter. Texting seemed like a rocket fuel when it came along, but it didn't make our lives more spacious. We simply had to keep up. Now we're living at the speed of the swipe and the like, moving so fast through our days and typing a single sentence feels cumbersome. Everyone I talk to says they feel busier than ever. My musician friends aren't playing much anymore. My gardening friends don't have time to plant. I currently have 8 books I've started to read, and I haven't made it past the first chapter in any of them. We've been sucked into a pace of life nobody's enjoying. Then there's the deluge of media coming at us in a sort of mesmerizing digital spell. We're spending 3 hours a day using apps on our phones, 10 hours viewing media, consuming enough information each week to crash a laptop. That's a lot. We talk about unplugging. but we're enchanted by the endless social media circus of love and hatred, the vapid, alarming, sensational, and unforgivable. We're snagged by every new notification, and while we've always had our individual struggles and heartbreaks to deal with, now we have the tragedies and the entire world delivered to us hourly on our mobile devices. This is all very well. This is all very hard on one's soul. Traumatizing, in fact. Exposure to traumatic events can traumatize us, and we're getting lots of it in our feed. It's like we've been swept into the gravitational field of a digital black hole that is sucking our lives from us. So there's all that. But everybody's talking about that. What got my attention was what was happening to me as a person. I found myself flinching when a friend texted and asked for some time. I didn't want to open email for fear of the demands I'd find there. I had
Hmm.
shorter and shorter fuse in traffic. I felt numb to tragic news reports. It made me wonder, am I becoming a less loving person? I had little capacity for relationships and the things that bring me life. A walk in the woods, dinner with friends, a cold plunge in a mountain lake. When I did steal a moment for something life-giving, I was so distracted I couldn't enjoy it. Then I realized it wasn't a failure of love or compassion. These were symptoms of a soul pushed too hard, strung out, haggard, fried. My soul just can't do life at the speed of smartphones. But I was asking it to. Everybody's asking theirs to. I'm guessing you've experienced something similar. It's likely why you've picked up this book. Your soul is looking for something. Are you aware of what it is? How would you score your soul these days? Are you happy most of the time? How often do you feel lighthearted? Are you excited about your future? Do you feel deeply loved? When was the last time you felt carefree? I know it's not fair to ask. Our souls are bleary, seared, smeared, still able to love, yes, still able to hope and dream. But at the end of any given day, most people come home in a state of exhaustion, numb on our good days, fried more often than we admit. I feel all thin, sort of stretched out, as Bill Baggins said, like butter that has been scraped over too much bread. The world has gone completely mad, and it's trying to take our souls with it. Now, if we had more of God, that would really help. We could draw upon his love and strength, his wisdom and resilience. After all, God is the fountain of life, Psalms 36:9. If we had more of his lavish life bubbling up in us, it would be a rescue in this soul searching scorching hour. But this frantic, volatile world constantly wilts the soul, dries it out like a raisin, making it almost impossible to receive the life God is pouring forth. That's called a double bind. I
Double
tried to
ride. Sorry.
I tried to find more of God, knowing if I only had a greater measure of his life in me, I'd be able to navigate this rough terrain. I was practicing the usual stuff, prayer, worship, scripture, sacraments, but still I felt, I don't know, shallow somehow. Sipping God with teaspoons, not drinking great gulps, wading, not swimming. My soul felt like a shallow rain puddle, but I know the soul isn't a shallow puddle at all. It's deep and vast, capable of symphonies and heroic courage. I wanted to be living from those deep places, but I felt trapped in the shoals. It's no coincidence that one of the most important books on our world and what technology is doing to us is called The Shallows, what the internet is doing to our brains. We're losing our ability to focus and pay attention longer than a few moments. We live at the depth of the text, the swipe, the like. This isn't just an intellectual problem, it's a spiritual crisis. It's pretty hard to hear deep calling onto deep when we're focused into the shallows of our own hearts and souls by this frenetic world. Jesus heard even my surface prayers. He came to my rescue and began to lead me to a number of helps and practices, what I would call graces. Simple things like a 1 minute pause that were acceptable and surprising in their power to restore. learning benevolent detachment, the ability to let things go, allowing for some transition in my day instead of just blasting from one thing to the next, drinking in the beauty God was providing in quiet moments. My soul began to recover, feel better, do better, however you want to describe it. I began to enjoy my life with God so much more. I was finally experiencing the more of Him I'd been wanting so much. I began to get my life back. Then I connected the dots. God wants to come to us and restore our lives. He really does. But if our soul is not well, it's almost impossible to receive Him. Dry, scorched ground can't absorb the very rain it needs. As C.S. Lewis explained, the soul is but a hollow which God fills. In the place of hollow, I like the word vessel, something beautiful and artistic. Our souls are exquisite vessels created by God for Him to saturate. I picture the round, curved basin at the top of the elegant fountain, with water spilling all down all sides, running over with unceasing life. Wasn't that the promise? As Scripture has said, rivers of living water will flow from within them. John 7:38. And so it follows that if we can receive help for restoring and renewing our weary, besieged souls, we'll enjoy the fruits, which are many and wonderful, of happy souls, and also be able to receive more of God, which is even more wonderful. We'll find the vibrancy and resiliency we crave as human beings, living waters welling up from deep within, and then we'll get our lives back. But the process needs to be accessible and sustainable. We've all tried exercise, diets, Bible study programs that began with vim and verve, but over time got shoved to the side, lost in the chaos. I have gym memberships. I rarely use it. There are those books I haven't finished, loads of podcasts too. Rest assured, the grace I am offering here are within reach of a normal life. I think you'll find them simple, sustainable, and refreshing. God wants to strengthen and renew your soul. Jesus longs to give you more of Himself. Come, you weary and heavy laden. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me, and you'll recover your life, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Matthew 11:38-30. 28 to 30. The message. You can get your life back. You can live freely and lightly. The world may be harsh, but God is gentle. He knows what your life is like. What we need to do is put ourselves in place that allows us to receive His help. Let me show you how.
No, I want to read that book.
When I finish, I can lend it to you.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So, do you struggle with like the modern life?
I think we all do. Um, I don't like being on social media all the time, but it's something that I'm attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I look at because that's where my friends are. That's where I can hear from them. That's where I can hear from content creators I like. That's where I hear some news on new movies that I enjoy. But it's also, you can tell that it consumes you. I don't like to write things, I don't like texting people. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know this. My
Yeah.
responses are like very short, like one word.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
Like it is a pressure. Right, because like he gave that example, like the friend who sent him an email, he didn't want to open it because of its demands, right? I feel that all the time because it always is so much pressure to like reply to people, and then whenever you accidentally open it, like, oh crap, I have to answer this now. It's like it's a lot. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so I've been reading that.
okay.
And
What?
so
How how
it's
far
been
into it?
nice.
How far into it are you?
I'm only like 3 chapters in, so I'm not really long into it.
Out of
I don't know.
But it's pretty good though, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know how many chapters is it. 14 chapters. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one is about the 1 minute pause where you take time in your day just to have 1 minute of absolute nothingness. Where you're not distracted by your social media. You're not distracted by the work you need to do, about the thing is that you just did, that you're gonna do later on, the meeting you have to take, the prayer you have to pray. It's just a minute of absolute silence, absolute peace of you and God.
Is there a chapter about pausing the brain? Because I need that.
All right, chapters. Let's just take a look at the general context of this
Because
book.
my brain is so busy, it's stupid.
The 1 minute pause. Benevolent detachment. Drinking beauty. Simple unplugging. Kindness towards ourselves. Allowing for transitions. Get outside. Remembering who you love. Returning to the 1 minute pause. Surrendering the self life. Caring for neglected places in your soul. Ask for it. The gifts of memory. Believe. The hidden life of God in you. The simple daily things. The daily prayer.
Definitely seems like a book that like don't mean. I feel like this is often used in a weird way. But it's like a book that centers you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like reminds you of the core things of what's truly important.
hmm So yeah.
So I have a question. Like, have you ever felt like you wanted to get away from today's modern life? Because honestly, I'll be honest, I have.
Have you ever wished to just leave this world, go to a cabin in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and just live? Yeah. I mean, I think we all wish for inner peace like that. That we all just want to leave and just witness the vast beauty of things.
Mm-hmm.
Or I believe one of the chapters here is just like experience the beauty of the world. Just detach from things. Just go take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Just go walk somewhere without a plan to do anything. Just a plan to see anything. Just go out there and see what you see. Take that time at peace to detach from that world of business and just go out there, see what's there, because something beautiful you can see. You can see the beautiful mountains. You can see the lakes and such. Like Jesus needed to get away from people
Mm-hmm.
from time to time. The crowds all around him, he just leaves in the middle of that, just so he can go off and pray and be by himself. And it's like we need that detachment in our life sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't want to be one of those people who's like always on their phone, like CJ. But
Oh yeah, CJ.
but like it's so easy to get sucked into that. It's just like, oh, notification this, take care of that, see what's new, see what's up,
Water the dog.
water the dog. Bet there's a game and an app that you can play to water the dog or something.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have this week.
Okay. I don't have much else. I mean, I've talked about my Teespring stuff. I mean, the stuff looks great. It's just dark, but just here's the thing. I honestly don't really want to go into the process of like trying to change the color because the same thing came out differently on both products, right?
Yeah.
One is darker than the other, and both of them are darker than it really is. So if I'm gonna alter it more, I don't know. And plus, I haven't tested the other products. They're probably gonna either come out lighter or darker on those. Probably darker, but still, I don't really want to go through all that.
Yeah.
We will see. I am going to do one test. I am gonna like print my logo on a sheet of paper and like do a little comparing thing. John might do a little something, but probably not. Anyways, but yeah, I don't really got much else either. So,
Yeah.
anyways, to you new listener, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. One new listener makes us happy.
Yeah. Gives me like 30 cents of revenue. Thank you for that. So
What are
yeah,
you drinking?
that's all we have today.
What are you drinking?
I got Burger King, so I have Coke.
Okay, cool. All right. Come back
So yeah,
next week. Bye.
thank you guys for listening. We'll see you all next time. Bye.